Alright, YouTube, so here it is. We're gonna do this giveaway. I am here at the video that we did the giveaway on, barber tutorials, scissor work, blah blah blah. So let's copy the link. Let's do no, not Instagram, random picker. The heck? Hold on. I gotta put YouTube comment picker. Okay, we'll put the URL here. Get YouTube comments. So it's going to start loading the comments. There's 109 unique comments, and we will start the raffle now. And let's see who won. This is for the Foundations course. The winner is Toussaint the Barber. All right, bro, you won. I'll be reaching out to you on your Instagram page. Let me make sure I screenshot that. Toussaint.barber on Instagram. Congratulations, bro. You won the Foundations course. So hopefully it's going to a good person. Hopefully you'll make good use of it and you'll enjoy it. Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start with this tutorial. This was a little bit of a challenge because it was an undercut. And so I'm going to try to create the illusion that it's not an undercut and it blends into kind of like a silhouette that kind of comes out into the curls. So take it for what it is. Hopefully you guys like it and you learn something. It's not going to be perfect, obviously, because we're going to allow this. We're trying to allow his hair to grow out, but do it in a way where he doesn't have to go through such an ugly phase. You guys get what I'm saying. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. YouTube, what's going on? Now, this haircut tutorial is gonna be, this is a little tough because he's got an undercut. Like, my man has an undercut, and during the consultation, I was asking him if he wants it flopping over to the sides. Like, you say you want to fade on the sides, but is this how you wear your hair? Like, do you braid it? Like, do you put it up in a man bun or something? And he said no, he just wears it like this. So he said that he wanted off of his eyebrows, above his eyebrows. So I cut the fringe area first to kind of get an idea of the length that he likes. We checked the mirror, he said he liked it, and so we moved on to cutting the rest of the top. Now, what I'm going to try to attempt to do is to take off a lot of the length that's just kind of flopping over to the sides, and try to get it to lay into the blend. Like, if it wasn't an undercut right now, it'd be easy to do this haircut into a fade, but because most of this length that's hanging on the sides is from the top, and everything on the sides is shaved to like a number 3 all the way to the top of the side of his head, the parietal ridge, this is going to be a little difficult. And I'll show you, you can see right here how, like, this, yeah. So we're going to try to do the best that we can and get it to look like it just kind of blends into the sides again. And the idea is to make it look good while the sides grow out and catch up. And so hopefully, he'll come back and I'll be able, maybe in a couple months, be able to redo this tutorial. That way you could see what the final results will look like. But nonetheless, let's break this haircut down. So now I'm cutting the length, and as you can see, I'm not putting a lot of tension because his hair is curly and it's gonna coil into, it's gonna bounce right back to how it wants to lay. So what I'm focused on is just cutting some of the length and then making sure that the shape is right when it comes to curls. You don't want to pull the hair, you don't want to stretch it out, you don't really need to wet it. If this is, I asked him if he wears his hair like wet, he puts gel. He said no, he just wets it, lets it dry, and that's how he rocks his hair. So I like to cut it into the finished product as opposed to wetting it, stretching the hair out, and then when it dries it looks completely different, because that's how curls are. So now that we got a better idea and the length is cut, we'll start to begin the fade process. We're gonna do our first guideline, then our second guideline with the blade open, and I'm using the Babyliss Gold FX. All right, and before we move on, we'll go ahead and start to blend this panel out. Once we blend this line out, then we'll move on to the next guideline. And I'm gonna bald him out on the bottom at the end. I know the comments are gonna come like, why do barbers do that? I don't know, it's just, it gets boring in the shop sometimes when you're doing, a bunch of heads all day and you're doing the same steps every single time, like, you know, it just makes things interesting, I guess. Like, if I'm in a rush and I'm just trying to make money, then I stick to the same system all day. But if I'm not really in a rush and I'm getting bored, like, I'll switch it up a little bit. I might fade down, I might fade up, I might leave the hair on the bottom and shave it for last, or I might shave it in the beginning. I don't know. I'm sure if you're a barber, you've been in the shop, I'm sure you guys could relate. Alright, so after we did our one open, we'll blend it out with that half guard. And people keep asking me this. Yes, the Babyliss Gold FX can use the wall guards. Alright, so now we're using the 1.5 guard. It's like a number 3 already on the side, so I'm gonna use my 1.5 guard, then my number 2, and then we'll detail the blend. And then, like, there's a little bit of a ridge, if you can see, like there's a line where the longer length of the hair starts. I'm gonna try my best to use the blending shears and other techniques to try to get it to blend in a little bit better. And this is my first time cutting his hair, so I really want to cut his hair again, man. But you guys can see the blend is coming together. And we haven't started detailing yet. This is like the last step of my system, and then we can start to detail. But alright, so boom, you can see the undercut that he had, and I'm trying to create the illusion that the hair that's hanging down on the sides just blends. It's part of the sides. Like, we're trying to keep that, like, yeah, that's that whole shaved up to the top there. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a different silhouette, and so I gotta try to create the illusion that, you know, it blends into much longer hair as opposed to disconnects. Alright, so this technique helps out a lot. I'm just going with the grain to kind of smoothen it out. It's almost like using the razor. You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of cutting it with the razor. Just taking a little bit of bulk, a little bit of layers out of the hair. Alright, then we'll use the blending shears to try to get it to lay a little softer. Look at that disconnection. I'm really trying my best to, you know, I'm going above and beyond, and hopefully my client understands. You know what I mean? Like, most barbers would probably just be like, bro, no, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta cut the length on top, start from scratch, and let it grow out. I'm really trying my best to make this work so that it grows back with the silhouette he's looking for. So we'll go ahead and start to line them up before we start to detail it. Detail the blend, I should say. Alright, we're pretty much going to do the same process on this side. I started off with going with the grain with the number 2, but pretty much the same fade system. Now, it's gonna be a little dark above this one open, because I just wanted to kind of, I want that part to grow out. The idea is for above the one open, above this guideline, it to kind of, the hair to get a little bit longer and the silhouette to come out a little bit off the sides of the head. And so I don't want to bring the fade too high. I don't want the gradients of the fade to go up too high. I want to stay dark above that one open. So I'm gonna try my best to do that. And so by the time he comes back, it should be long enough. Maybe he comes back in 3 weeks or a month. It should be long enough to where we can get an even better silhouette the next haircut. Yeah, so like right in this area, I don't want to go up too high with that 1.5 card, because I'm going to kill the length that I want to grow back. That length above the occipital bone, I want that to grow back. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and start to bald him out completely. No, past the razor. He didn't want to style his hair or anything. He was going to go home and take a shower. I wish I would have styled it. If I did style it, I probably would have put some I would have wet the hair, put some victory fiber, and then either use a diffuser or let it air dry. And of course, you gotta finish it off with the shaver. It's gonna give you it's gonna maximize the gradients that you can achieve on somebody. Alright guys, but you know, I did the best that I could to give the illusion that it wasn't disconnected. You know, we'll let it grow back in a month or two or a month and a half or whatever. I'll shoot another tutorial with the same model, so look out for that, and that way we can see what it looks like once it's grown out. But all in all, I think it came out decent. He's not going to be walking around with his hair shorter. He's going to have the fade that he wants, and you know, we didn't have to start from scratch like I think most barbers would have done. And I think this is passable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people are going to look at it and be like, oh, man, you know, they tried to connect a disconnected haircut. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Smash the like button if you learned something. If you like the video, man, it always helps out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Love y'all.